What's up, everybody? All right, I don't even know where to start. Oh yeah, let me just keep smiling so I can talk like this. You know, I'm really mad inside right now. I'm really mad.
You can't show that though.
Can't show that
that's against the rules.
Because the bots might pick me up having an upside down smile, and that's not good. So I'll keep it like this. No, I'm not keeping it like this anymore. I can't. It hurts.
Yeah.
Guys, we're doing this video because not that we had anything planned. Well, we did have something planned because it was up, but we took it down, and I want to explain why we took it down. We have to request a review because we lost our monetization on that. It was about anti-bullying.
It was an anti-bullying message.
And we didn't put anti-bullying in the title because what we titled it was
bullying and what you can do.
Because that's what the video was about. I mean, why should I name it something that it's not? We're going to have to change the title, and we're going to change it to, what did we change it to? Please be nice to me. I mean, that's what it seems like, right? I mean,
yeah.
I don't get it anymore, guys. I'm so frustrated with YouTube right now. And it's not, and a lot of people, somebody hit me up on Twitter already. Is like, well, Storyfire is the worst because you not everybody can upload on there and blah blah blah.
It's a new platform.
I'm not comparing it to Storyfire at all. I on Twitter was complaining that my video got demonetized because we did this video on bullying. Somebody had hit me up in DMs a while back saying, could you please do a video on it? I've been wanting to do a video. I think we touched on this subject several times before on Keeping It Real.
We never had something specifically focused on it.
Right. We didn't want to call the video Keeping It Real because when we did that, they never get pushed out. Because who's going to search for Keeping It Real? Bullying, that would be a thing that maybe people would search for because people deal with this. I don't care who you are. There's some point in your life you dealt with this, either witnessing it, being it, dealing with it. Mm-hmm. Somehow you have. And I think it's an important subject for people to talk about. I don't understand this system that YouTube has right now. This is what I'm frustrated with. We've talked about this on the podcast.
We've talked about this on the podcast extensively.
Yeah, and Tom brought up a really good thing about this. You have people programming bots, and they don't understand. You put a word in there, they don't understand if you're saying good or bad against that word. Like, I could sit there and do a video and it be against drugs. But because I use drugs in the title...
It can.
And it's a shame that this is the society, not the society, this is what YouTube has become. Didn't used to be like this. YouTube is the one that messed up to begin with. They're the ones that allow ISIS videos on there.
Right, you can still remove all the things that are bad without trying to automate it so that it removes all things that are bad, because not everything that it removes is bad.
Right, and because a bot cannot distinguish.
Exactly.
And I understand.
A robot does not understand the concept of context.
And I also understand that there's millions of videos, so there's so much to go through out there. And somebody just did a video, and I don't know who the people were, but they did a video on words that and they researched it. I think it took them a long time to do. How many words? I think there's over 10,000 words or something like that YouTube
over
hates.
10,000.
I don't even know if I have 10,000 words in my vocabulary, to tell you the truth.
It's a good question.
I really don't know. But the thing that bothers me about this is that I understand there are certain words that I don't know that you could say it in a good way.
Right, and that's understandable.
But I don't but just because somebody's talking about bullying, for instance, because that's what this video that we just did was about, against bullying and stuff, because you use that word, that's taken down. But I'm going to say this. There are channels out there. It was worse back in the day, but there's still channels out there that are bully channels, that bully other YouTubers, that say bad things about other YouTubers. Now, it's always in the eye of the person or the way that they took it, whether you would consider that bullying or not. But if you're talking bad about another YouTuber, I consider that bullying, especially if that YouTuber hasn't talked bad about you back. Mm-hmm. Now, having said that, those channels still are up there. They still have monetization on them. They don't get taken down. Why? Because they're not using the word bully. Well, come on, it's a word. You can't you can't run it like that.
Exactly.
It's just I'm telling you, my blood pressure is probably up over 200 right now because I am so mad because it's so ridiculous. It makes no sense at all. And heaven knows I didn't look at this list, so I don't know what other words are on there. I can only imagine if there's 10,000 words on there. Like for instance, let's say the word gay, for instance, right?
You can't say that.
Well, yeah, this one will probably be demonetized too. But
I can't say that either.
What I'm saying is like, if you use that and you were talking about like how people treat somebody who is
right, whether it's like a factual historical thing or if it's like a very like pro their stance sort of deal.
Yeah, maybe they're saying how sometimes they are, there's prejudice against a person who is.
But they give messages to empower you so you can get over that, and
right.
I say get over it.
Then they're going to get demonetized because
you use the no word.
Because you use the word. I mean, is this really where we're at in our society? Susan, I know you're not going to watch my video, but I'm going to bring her name up anyway because she'll only watch a video that gets a lot of attention, like this 10,000 words, which I saw. She didn't respond to it that I saw, but I did see YouTube responded to it. And they said they're going to have a team look into it. Now, here's the problem, guys.
Have a team look into it? I thought their team designed it.
Yeah, and then they're going to talk to that person that made this video. What about the millions of creators that are out there?
Also, define talk to. Is it talk to as in like you better take that down or else we'll give you some shut up money? Or is it going to be?
I think they're going to explain to them what their system is or whatever, but it's probably going to be in words that you won't even understand what they're even saying.
Of course, lawyer jargon.
But my point is if you came up with a list of words that you want to ban from your site, right? And YouTube, it's YouTube's site, so they get to make the rules. I mean, that's just how things work.
I'm not saying you can't make rules.
But here's the thing, I just don't get it. If you're going to ban, I don't care if it's one word. It's like, I was telling Tom earlier, it's like, if he worked for me just up in my shop, right?
Right.
And I told you, or I don't want you to touch, say this is a dangerous chemical right there, and I don't want you to touch that. I don't leave it there and not tell him don't touch that, where he has to find out on his own. I tell him, don't touch that. Well, if there's words on a list that you're not supposed to use, how about you... Excuse me, I'm spitting. That's what happens when I get
I can't say that.
Oh, yeah. How about you give the list of words to all the creators so that they understand and take 3 days to go through 10,000 words to figure out what words they actually are on that list and which words aren't, so that you can appropriately name your video or title your video or what you're allowed to say in a video, because I don't even know. Right
now YouTube is operating on sort of a it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission sort of thing, if you've noticed.
Yeah, and
because we don't know what we're supposed to do, we don't know what we're not allowed to do, we're not told anything.
Yeah, and that's what's really frustrating.
Sorry, we can't raise our voices.
Our video, we already pre-uploaded this. And in case I didn't say this at the beginning,
this is a good point that
we pre-uploaded it to try to get away from this kind of thing happening.
Because you think that if you pre-upload, maybe schedule it, then they will have their bots, look over the things, and if it's just like,
because that's what they told us to do. That's what they want.
Right.
So that's what we did.
It's also logical. If you have it be uploaded before it actually goes up, then the bot can run through it. And it's just like, okay, this is suitable, this is not suitable. Plus, they have their self-rate thing now.
Yeah.
Which is supposed to help cut this sort of exact thing down.
And it was green.
It was green until we hit publish.
And then it turns yellow. Well, how are we supposed to know? I had heard about the video with the words and all that stuff, but I didn't know what the words are because I didn't watch the video and I didn't see no list of words. But the thing is that how is anybody supposed to know this? I mean, like, if YouTube's not telling you, it's impossible to know this. There's 10,000. How can you possibly know that?
Right, there's a handful of logical ones.
Yeah,
but there's maybe,
I did say to you before we put it up, I said, I wonder if the word bully is going to trigger, and we already figured it was green, so no, it's obviously okay.
Scheduled to go up for a couple days at that point.
Yeah, and it's like YouTube... I just don't even understand. And this Susan chick, I don't understand. I call her chick. Oh, I'm sorry, Susan woman, because that's.
I believe she probably prefers the term Mama Wozniak or whatever.
Yeah, because she really is YouTube's mom right now. you actually need to do your job. And like it's funny because the last thing when she took away the everybody's
the verification badge,
everybody was really outraged over that, and they had a thing going around for you to sign, a petition to sign for her to be removed, to be fired and everything. Not that it would have happened because, CEO's got a lot of power and all that stuff. But man, she jumped on that crap like that really fast. Like the next day, we looked at, we hear you. You don't hear nothing else though. You don't fix the major problems of the site. I think it's a shame nowadays that it's so hard for people to get monetization on their channels to begin with now. You have to have, 1,000 subscribers, right? And then I forget how many minutes of watch time. Which, okay, so you have a thing there now that in place to make sure that the channel is pretty much what you think that they're going to be about, right?
Yeah.
That's really what they put there. But then you're demonetizing them all the time if they do certain videos, so that's kind of like you already gave them the okay, so you already okayed their channel and everything. It's really like you almost need individual people to monitor so many channels. You know what I mean? To make sure that these channels are still staying the same, because somebody could start out a channel being good and then all of a sudden turn it to a channel where they're just like a bully channel that talks about other YouTubers.
Oh, well, you can't say that though.
A channel that talks about other channels in a negative light.
You can't say the word negative. That's a negative word.
I don't know what I can say anymore.
You can't say that.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's confusing. It's really enraging. I
can't say that.
It's I don't know. I told you I don't have 10,000 words in my vocabulary, so I don't even know.
That's the
point. Probably that is all my vocabulary. Most of them are probably in that list.
Yeah.
Right? I just don't. Guys, bear with us. The video will be up.
It'll be upward. We sent in a manual request review, even though, the self-rate thing, we had it up for a while to make sure that this exact thing wouldn't happen.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
And once that's okay, we'll put it back up. If it gets yellow again, then so be it. We're not going to take it down again, because that means we can't fix anything else in it.
Yeah.
Because if the rest of what's said in the video makes it demonetized, then we can't do anything about it. It's just really, I don't know anymore. It's frustrating, and guys that think that I did this to push out Storyfire. No, it had nothing to do with Storyfire.
It's just YouTube being stupid.
I didn't mention Storyfire. I know that a lot of people aren't able to upload on Storyfire, and I feel bad for everybody that can't. But I know that Jesse would love for everybody to be able to, and Brian, but they haven't gotten to that point yet. It's still a very infantile app that they started, and it's going to take a lot of time and a lot of patience from people, which unfortunately nowadays people do not have patience, and they want everything right away. But that's a whole different issue. I'm talking just about YouTube. And all you guys that want to put up on YouTube, want to make videos, want to get it monetized and everything else, it's such a different place now, and it's so hard for all these kids, and there's so much discouragement. There's more discouragement, I think, on YouTube than encouragement from YouTube itself, and it's sad. And I'm going to look at my phone right now because I don't even know how long we've been rambling and stuff like that, because I don't want this to be a half hour.
It could easily be,
because I'm so mad, and when I'm mad, I have a tendency to ramble on. Guys, I just don't know. Like I said, I wanted to make this video so you understand why our other video is on private right now. It will eventually go live.
It'll be again, because it's a message that we should put out there.
But I'm going to push this out right now because this is a plug for our podcast that'll be this Thursday. I'm sure we will be talking about this yet again on our podcast. Gives us a chance to rant and say things that we can say without getting demonetized, because we aren't monetized on that to begin with. So, and that it's on Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, Anything else?
Spotify, iTunes, Google Play.
Google Play, yeah. Google. But yeah, 3 out of 4 ain't bad.
Yeah.
For you guys to listen to, and it's going to be live, and we're going to take calls, but it's going to be different format. Bug just flew around almost flew in my eye. It's going to be a different format than we did last time. This is going to be more like we'll ask. Yeah, what up? We're going to ask specific questions or something, and for people to call in. It's not a Q&A kind of, like, as far as you call in, ask us a question, we answer it. It's going to be more like we put something out there. It's going to be more like a radio show where you guys can come in and say, oh yeah, I experienced that. I blah blah blah, and tell us your take on that or your story on that. So it's going to be a little bit different. I'm more excited about this. We also took away the $100 pledge on there because of, and I'll explain that all on the podcast when we do that on Thursday.
Make sure you check in.
Thursday at 8, that'll be. I'm sorry if I had to put this plug in there, but I had to.
Don't apologize.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not sorry. Yes, I am sorry because it's YouTube and I have to be nice and smiley and all that stuff. Well, guys, until next time, grab yourself something cold to drink, put your feet up and relax, and we'll meet you at the lounge. You know, it's just kind of creepy when we're like that.